A very big thank you to you, each and everyone ambaye ako tuned in. Asante sana kwa kutegea Maskani Hapo. Like we promised, here is part 3, DJ Lenium back on the stage by the beautiful and tuko ndani ya Kishushe Studios kama kawaida, na bila kupoteza wakati, by the way, thank you for those who are subscribing, keep on subscribing. Tuliachia kwa radio conversation. Lenium.
Yes.
So hapa ushapik radio nini, discuss the challenges za radio. So what happened, because you are big now in the gospel industry, what happened then you switched immediately?
Okay, so just for the sake of the viewer,
yes.
2005,
no.
2005, I officially joined Baraka FM, and then started doing Off the Hook with Justice Makideu, who would later move to Hope FM to do Shangilia. I started doing Off the Hook with Anthony Ndiema, who's currently doing Safari on Radio Maisha, and also the current
head of radio.
Thank you very much. So during this time, I was also building myself up as a DJ.
Okay.
And my passion, which is still there, Pakasai, my passion was in gospel. Okay. Remember, this is the same gospel that took me to Pulse FM. So this passion went on, and I remember I really pushed in the musical industry by then, because I think the biggest star 2005 to 2007 was Christine Bella. Yes, Christine Bella was the biggest star from Mombasa. And by that time, Nairobi, Rafton had just come out, because a bit backtracking, when I was in high school by then, I did a concert, and I brought Rafton to Mombasa.
Okay.
So those are some of the interesting things we did. And this was an outside concert, because I was coincidentally, I was in the CU, but not an official in the CU.
Okay.
That's a Christian union. So nilikuwa nangana parts of, in terms of events, I used to tell people Christianity is not boring. And when people make Christianity boring, you lose people.
Okay.
And that was what was happening in Albina. So when I see you worship, praise, you sit down, verses, as in it was the same old thing. And we used to feel, numbers, let me tell you, first term, numbers ziko nyingi. Second term zimeshuka, because it's the same old thing all the time. Okay. So unapata watu wametoka wameenda YCS, wengine wamejoin YCC, and the Christians and I'm thinking, no, this is not right. So si urani nakuja, unasikia shule wameitwa, choirs and all. There was nothing to entice it. Okay. So I remember I saw this in Form 1, I saw it in Form 2, Form 3 Kasfano. No, we can't do this. Yeah. So I remember having a discussion with my CU chairman, one into Daniel Mwasi. And what if, and by that time in Nairobi, Joxy and Gospel Fathers were the big thing. So Joxy, Gospel Fathers, Kiki, DNG, all that people so I was like, what if we bring a gospel artist to the concert? Like, okay, so who everything, and by then in Mombasa, there was Christine Bella, there was Gabriel. So he had already mentioned, like, no. See what to Mombasa, to let him to Nairobi. He was like, this is unheard of. Because okay, see rallies, what is the high schools in Mombasa? Having an artist from Mombasa was already big.
It's a big thing.
Yes. So you can imagine you're bringing an artist from Nairobi. How? It's impossible.
Or school concert.
School concert. School concert. It was unheard of. They were like, how will you make it? You're just going to call it. So I can wonder, which artist are you thinking of? Thinking, let's bring Joxy and Gospel Fathers.
Wow.
Sure.
Fully about.
And by then they had just done because they had just done their compilation album it was called Zaidi ya Mziki.
Kabisa.
And it was a wonderful album.
Paka waleo.
Wonderful. So I give my chairman this idea, chairman, and hey, sisi ni watu wa high school bro, hatuwezi. I'm like, no, we cannot. And let me tell you, wakati wanasema faith can move mountains ndio hiyo. Mimi nilikuwa na faith. Hatuna pesa, lakini mimi najua it is very possible. Second term during our CU rally, we are going to do it. And let me tell you, by that time, you know, like the way people look forward to Champions League, a World Cup, so people used to look forward to CU rallies. Now CU rallies, CU rally Albina used to be the thing.
Okay.
But now for the last 2 years, you've done the same thing. And people used to come all the way from St. George's, what wanavuka. But imagine from Carolina, wanasema hatuwezi kosa. Kuna CU rallies zingine wanasema nendeni. Hii hamwezi kosa. Shule by the way, that was like a science congress. You know, siku shule inapigwa rangi, watu wanaambiwa nunua uniform mpya. You know, you have to look,
you have to shine.
Yes. Hata wale kurutu from 4 wanakuja kwambia bro kuna watu wanakuja. Mbona uko hivi? As in, it was something in us. So I thought, let's change it. So I shared the idea. My chairman's like, me, I have no problem. Come in as a camera. You can call them and they agree. Push. We go to the CU patron. So CU patron by then, I still remember their name, is shocking enough. Alikuwa anaitwa Madam Gendi. Now Madam Gendi used to find me, I was one of these naughty boys. So she used to feel by CRE teacher was. So she used to feel, kijana, yes ni Mkristo lakini hakuna naughty tactics. You know, so when this idea was brought to her, it was ilirushwa chini. No.
That can't happen.
It can't happen. Akasema let's just be organized, vizuri. If you want to get a gospel artist, we can talk to
Christian.
No, that time alisema we talk to the Mtawalis.
The Mtawalis.
Let's talk to the Mtawalis.
Shika upanga wako.
Imagine, mtoto kwa mwana wanashika. You know, so mimi nasikia Mtawalis. No, they are good but no.
Good on this.
Nikarudi back to the drawing board. Nafikiria, what do we do? Nikafikiria, you know what? Let's just make that phone call. So I decided I call. I remember nilipata connection because I go to Mombasa Memorial Cathedral. So there was one of our patrons. You've had the brother here, so that one of them was called Andrew. So I spoke to Andrew, gave him the idea. Andrew's like, yeah, this is good. Because even Nairobi rarely do it. So if you do it, it's a big thing. You can get some number. Kanipatia namba ya Kaberere, the late Kaberere.
Yes.
So I call Kaberere, hi, my name is Michelle, this is what, hey, so what do you want? We want to do a CU rally, we'd love you guys to come. And I believe, sasa hivi vile mmekuja pamoja, mnataka hii market ya Mombasa. Akafikiria kwa yenyewe, na make sense. So nikamwambia, we can do this because CU rally ni Saturday. Sunday hata mnaweza pata njia kujeni church, minister, nini. Akona easy, like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Very nice, very nice. Akapenda idea. Akaniambia, if you can make it happen, sawa. Sasa the $1 million question. How much? Sasa hapo kwa how much mimi nikamwambia unajua sisi ni vijana, we'll sort your transport, basi zenu za kuja na kurudi no problem. Accommodation nikajitolea, nikaongea na mama yangu nikamwambia mastawa nakuja. Tutawaaccommodate hapa kwa nyumba. Mama yangu akaniangalia. Wacha tu support kijana lakini she did not understand. We are going to have close to 6 boys in the house. But akasupport akasema sawa. So goodness, my mom loved nampenda bwana ya Joksi. Alafu alipenda there's a song gospel fathers did.
Siku ya Kiyama.
No, that's Zaidi ya Mziki. Now this is before because they've just launched that Zaidi ya Mziki. So it's a worship song they've done. And she loved both. So she was like, hey, how do you want to no problem. We'll see how we can do. It's just one day because of the Sato. Sunday, tukitoka na tunaenda na wanaenda. And they was like, no problem. So accommodation sorted. Transport sorted. So these guys were like, nikamwambia, organizers, sasa dope, nikamwambia, sisi hatuna pesa, sisi ni watu high school. How much did you have in mind? Akasema, ukipatia kila mtu 5,000, tuko sawa. So we're thinking this is 6 guys, 30,000. Hiyo ni pesa mingi for high school. So mimi na faith yangu tu nikamwambia da. Sijui 30,000 natoka wapi. So go back to school and tell everyone is waiting. So Monday nimeingia si chairman mwenyewe ndo amenifuata mpaka class. Feedback like wamekubali, you're serious So now akaniambia wakikubali wewe niachie patron tadili naye. So now word started going around. Even before hatuna pesa, Joksi Gospel Fathers coming to Adilina. Imezunguka. It was a big thing. So somehow story katoka out nje. So shule washaanza kusikia. Let me tell you, this was one concert we didn't even have to do a poster or a flyer.
It went on its own.
Viral.
Okay.
Viral, and it was so viral in the sense that schools were booking space. Imagine shule inapiga simu si rally ufanyika July. Tumeanza kupanga hii kitu May. But end of May, schools are calling like tunakuja about 100 people, 200 people. Please make sure
we have space.
We have space.
What?
Sisi tumeingia kwa hall, tukaangalia hall. Hizi viti hazitatosha. What do we do? So June, this is June, we go to the principal. Now we're going to have a big concert. No, a big CU rally. Yeah. So, yeah, my picture rally, watoto wa shule wamekuja, it's okay, no problem. So he gives us a go ahead, like, so like, please let's add a few more chairs, because so our principal was very sensitive on what was kuja waonge mbaya, tulienda dinner, this happened, chairs, we'll add chairs. So he doesn't know the numbers, and we're afraid tukimwambia numbers, he'll cancel the CU rally, because he knows we're not ready. So he had like about 200 chairs, and you're done deal. So tushapewa barua, go ahead, we're good to press. So meanwhile, we're telling whenever the CU meets, we always tell them we have a deficit of 30,000. Bro, mi sijui watu walitoa pesa. Every Friday tukienda CU, now the CU, the Christian Union.
Yeah.
Watu wanachanga, unapata leo kumechangwa sijui 7K, 6K. Watu kwa shule sijui wanatoa pesa. Believe it or not, by first week of July we had 45,000 shillings.
What?
45,000.
So we're extra 15.
We're gonna extra 15. So extra 15. See, the chairman goes like, now we want these guys to live well and all. So we buy them food, which was unheard of. Unanunulia artist food, mjampatia bashak. So food, we got a photographer to come. Yeah, let me tell you, it was like a real concert. Zile zilikuwa zinafanyika Loreto ama nini. That's how it was. So here comes the DJ. Chomsia Gospel Fathers wanaingia basi. Wanakuja.
Basi gani hizo days? Coast bus?
Coast bus. Coast bus was the thing.
The in thing.
So wameingia, I remember niliwachukua, tukaenda home. So the whole time, bado vijana
wamechukua Saturday morning pale.
Yes, Saturday morning.
On Friday night.
Yes.
Wakachukua straight.
Saturday morning, mimi sikuwa shule. Saturday morning straight tukaenda home, freshen up nini, mko poa The whole time there are still people, unajua Thomas one doubting Thomas, and there were so many officials who see like ila story bado. Unasikia mtu anasema lakini mshasikia sauti yao akiconfirm. Unajua people are still doubting. So here comes Saturday, wamekuja freshen up nini. For Joxie and Gospel Fathers, they have never been to Mombasa.
Yeah.
So first of all, the first place tukienda home, first place waliza tunataka kuona beach. So nikapeleka pale. Let me tell you, it was a shock. Mtu anaangalia maji. I remember kuna mmoja wa Gospel Fathers anaitwa Samu anauliza hii maji inaenda mpaka ule. I mean, and he doesn't believe. Wanaenda wanakanyaga maji, unaona, and you can clearly see the shock on their face. Like this is
nimefika beach.
Wow. So it was major shock. Lena, Kaberere, at least they're a bit older in the game. So haikuwa sumbua hivyo, but Gospel Fathers they had just come out of a teenagehood. So bado kuna ile ujana, So it was very interesting because Gospel Fathers was Kera, Ken, and Samu. So we had a surprise, which now people didn't know about that. So DNG came down with them.
Wow.
So everyone is expecting Joxie and Gospel Fathers because those are 5. So DNG ilisikia maze kuna trip ya kwenda Mombasa. Wacha nishuke, sika shida mimi. So akasema utasortiwa transport na accommodation, lakini hatukulipi. So like, hey, mimi sina mama. Now remember, DNG has just come from winning a Kora award.
Absolutely.
He has won a Kora award for Sameheo. Yes. So here comes, we've gone home, Made. So
DNG comes with a different bus?
No, he came with them. We traveled together, right? So they come together, and Mombasa, by that time, people didn't know. People know the songs, but hawajui sura. So watu wameshika basi hata hawajui yangu kina wamantu vijana Nairobi. So sisi hao home, madam atarishia
breakfast.
Hapo nilikuwa napenda. Madam the kinsa zingine ujaluo inasumbua. My friend, wacha nikwambie tumeingia kwa wiki naona sausages, mayai, sijui bacon niko mama. Mbona hizi watu kulangi vijana wameingia hivi wako like, hata Nairobi hatujui hivi.
Hapa ni wapi?
So wamekuja wamekaa chini madhe. Karibu. The good thing, my mom says she loved the way they respected people. Alisema, yani walikuwa na respect every question. Excuse me mom. Any kitu ilikuwa na just pale sana. So tumemaliza nikamwambia now we need to go to school. So they change now, wamevaa
Kisanii sasa.
Kisuperstar.
The time.
Ndio hiyo time. So mimi chapiga simu, jamaa tunakuja.
Mko ready?
So these guys, by the way, they were so excited. They didn't care whether kuna crowd or not. Wow, they're in Mombasa.
This is a big thing.
Yes. So we go to a dinner, kuingia wochi kama kawaida, nyinyi hamna uniform, hamwezi ingia because urali lazima na uniform. So he notices me like, in school alikuwa anaitwa director. So wochi ananiambia, director vipi? Wakaambia hao ndio wasanii wana.
So jina director alianza kitambo.
Alianza kitambo. So ananiambia, so is whether he missed the owner and anything like that. So we walk in. I remember when we were on the pathway, Mama Nkina girls were just coming in.
The scripts
Wako kwa basi yao. So wanapita hivi. So obviously the Christian girls, you know, friends ile nduru yani nduru ilipigwa.
Wanataka kushuka.
Nduru ilipigwa hakuwa watu kule nje wanashangaa. So
problem.
The distance from the gate to the hall was about 100 meters.
Okay.
Yeah. So because tumekuja kimatatu, tumevaa super stairs lakini matatu. Kulikuwa kuna stories za Uber, sijui haikuwa na kuchukua taxi by then was too expensive. So kumbuka ni students, if it was outside we would have done that. So walk in and the humility they had was awesome. Now the good thing, DNG alikuwa amevaa hood na amevaa shades. So watu notice Joxy Gospel tuliambiwa wanakuja ndio hao, it is true. So guys walk in and they didn't get into the hall immediately because walikuwa kwa class outside the hall. So everything is going on. So imekuja time ya performance, we introduced them. So in between performance wanaendelea. So I remember I was the DJ actually. So the plan was in between, just before they do Fundi Wambao, they're going to introduce DNG. So when we performed some songs are Gospel Fathers and Joxy, they did the Zaidi ya Mziki album, a few songs. Then nikacheza Samehewa. So I remember Samu. Atunajua hiyo ngoma nani ameimba DNG? Hebu tuimbe kweli Mungu. Paka is like, nani anaweza fanya part ya Kiki? Mademo shaka mikono juu. I'm like, people, if you only knew.
The guys behind it.
So DNG says he had never been impressed. The people were singing his song word to word. He was so shocked. But yes, he had seen this in Nairobi because he was brought up in Nairobi Baptist. But he acquired there because you know Nairobi guys. This is outside Nairobi. So he's seeing all this. What an So someone goes like, so DNG anaweza kuja perform. Tumlete next time. Akuja. So microphone shapelekwa nyuma. So he starts in JJ. So wanaona tu msela anapita na hood. I remember paka kuna walimu walikuwa wanataka kuja kumshikilia. So ameambiwa relax. So even my own school, they didn't know that plan. So they're wondering, huyu ni nani? Let me tell you, DNG gets on stage and atoa hood.
It went crazy.
Those are some of those memories I will never forget. It was, I think for about 10 minutes, it was just noise. Screaming. Now, remember, it is over. Nakumbuka zile shows za K-Cruise kwa zinaitwa Totally Sold Out. This was totally sold out. As in, people were missing. Mtu hana kiti, lakini we don't care. We are here. Unaona ni kule. Lakini you have no problem. It was fully packed. So you can imagine the screaming, for 10 minutes before the crowd came down. Only because of one song. So he did Samehewa. I think he performed it like about 3 times.
Yeah.
So after Hapo, now they performed Fundi Wambao. And then finally the song that they were really pushing, which was Siku ya Kiyama. Siku ya Kiyama, because in the video, DNG is in the video.
Yes.
So DNG sounded kama Fox kwa hiyo it was awesome. Let me tell you, after Hapo, Alidina was the school to be talked about. Because this has never been done. So anytime kuna sirali,
hapo ndo mlitoka kwa gazeti ya Insider.
Yes. So now the problem with such things is you have to live up to what you've done. You've already done a huge thing. So other schools are not doing it, but everyone's looking forward. So that time imeisha, here comes Form 4.
Yes.
I mean, this happened in Form 3. Now remember, this is the same Form 3 that nilipeleka watu paka Kampala.
Kampala.
Yes. So here comes Form 4, and I have to get serious because bro, exactly.
You have to pass.
Hey. Lakini watu wa CU washanifuatia first term. Bro, second term nani anakuja? And I was like, okay, that was a one time thing. Like, no.
I need to study. I need to study.
Hakuna mtu anataka kusikia.
Pressure imeanza first term.
Pressure.
Deliver.
So the whole time I'm thinking, who can we bring? Because now this was, it's like a mistake, but it worked out.
It worked well.
But lightning doesn't strike twice in one.
By the way, it's more than two.
So I'm thinking, how do we do this again? So tumeendelea, sijui kwa vision kakatoka, kitu kaniambia leta Julian. I'm thinking, Julian. How?
This guy should be.
He's big.
How do I do
Julian was even bigger than Zaidi ya Mziki. So I'm thinking, somehow some connections came in again, talked to Andrew Danga. Andrew akatafuta njia zake Nairobi, and akapata namba ya Julian. So I tell Julian my name. Julian like, wewe ndio unileta kina Kabirere Mombasa.
We have the story.
Because also walirudi wakapeana story mazee, kuna kijana alitupeleka, ilikuwa fiti, tukatoka hapo Saturday, Sunday tulikuwa church, tukatoka church, Justice akawachukua because Justice was already in Baraka. So Justice aliwachukua kaenda station. So for Justice this was huge content, not on a weekday but on a Sunday. Yeah. So for them this was like
they were sorted.
Ili wakati wa Mombasa.
Wamesort interview, wamesort church, wamesort gig yenye
kwa church walikuja vile waliperform wakapewa kabahasha kaambiwa shukrani. Yaani wao walienda ofiti.
They were blessed.
They were blessed in a bar. So here comes the following year and I'm thinking, what do we do? So same conversation I had with Joksi, I did with Juliani. I'm like, again, we don't have money. Juliani says, mi si lazima mnipipe. Mi wacha tunikuje. Like,
for sure.
It's like, you just sort my transport, the rest, it's Tangiana. So for Juliani, he wanted to leave the same day. And since it's an afternoon, so you're running after. So it's like, mi nitaingia asubuhi, nitulie, freshen up nini, niangalie shule, vile kuko and all, fanya siurali. Jioni mi usiku nachukua basi narudi. Like, so my accommodation at hiyo. We do a flyer. So we do a flyer when we're sending the letters to schools, we put Juliani. Oh my God.
Another crazy audience coming.
People are like, Juliani. How? Same thing. Juliani came, again blessed. It was awesome. Akaua show. So now, all this is building me up. It's building your name, my network in the gospel industry, and then also now that I'm being related to gospel music as a DJ and all. So by the time I clear Form 4, that's what I'm doing now because Nishaingia radio, nafanya gospel music, nafanya to concerts and all, gospel music and all. I remember 2006, JCC organized a concert, and in that concert, it was. Usually by that time, churches walikuwa, Mombasa especially, the artists who used to come, waita River Road artists. River Road artists in terms of ndugu tendereza, hizo mziki zimetulia. Si mziki za kuruka and all, that was unheard of in Mombasa. So, yes, kina machichi, the lyrics. Hizo ndo zilikuwa mziki. So here comes this concert, and by that time, Rington had just finished high school also. So we had worked out our ways and tumeongea. So JCC called this concert, and they called me and they're like, we've heard you have a network, who can we bring? So I'm thinking, who can you bring? By then, biggest artist was like Yohe.
Yes.
So like, they knew Rafton, everyone knew Rafton because of Mwikulu, Kora, Nini, but the people hadn't heard of Dadion in Mombasa. So like, bring Dadion nani brother Kirafton. Okay, so who else can we bring? We can bring Esther Home. Nice. Who else can we bring? We can bring Kiki. Kiki, no problem. DNG, alright. Joksi Gospel Fund. So the whole crew came down.
Comes down to Mombasa. Concert
equal stadium. So with this, I had just started connections of Mombasa artists. So I had just met Rington. So there's an artist called Bantu. There's an artist called Kimsa. A good friend of mine, her name is Sheila, but her stage name was Simaloy. And then we had worked out a way, we were good friends with Ndela. So this whole team, we even branded ourselves. We created an outfit and we called ourselves Pansita.
On that point, just hold on. Where did Simaloy go?
Currently. So Simaloy currently is a housewife. Yeah, just like Ndela is also a housewife. I think industries changed and people took different turns. Yeah. But by then that was it. So it was Bantu, Savage, Kimsa, Simaloi, Ndela, and myself. Spansita. So Spansita basically just stood for sophisticated, perfected, everlasting number city. And why we chose it was very interesting because number of completion is 7. But we were not 7, we were 6 of us. And we said we felt we were complete with 6. And 6 most of the times was associated to the evil number. 666, you know. So we wanted to change that perspective. So, and it's very interesting because you can compare to some you know, but there's a sita, how? And we always like so we believe controversy sells.
Yeah, controversy sells.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what we went to. And that's really helped because mukienda church mnasema Spansita alafu nasikia sophisticated, perfected, everlasting. But why not sita? Mbona isiwe saba? Mpaka tunaambia simtafute mtu wa saba. Like no, we can do it like this.
Yes.
And we created a style that was never been done before. Most of the times, artists wakiitwa, artists ana perform ngoma yake, start to finish, next, start to finish. So here comes this style where these 5 artists, sorry, because I was the DJ. The 5 artists have combined their music. Mtu anaimba, in between amemaliza kama 2 minutes hivi. Unasikia ngoma mtu mwingine anaingia, anaanza kupanda stage. Pastors in Mombasa have never seen something like that.
What's this?
Hey,
I love it. Interesting.
In a flow. And then highlights because everyone knew Christinella. So that was the last song. So your last song, whatever. Yani, by the time they go crazy with Manza hivi, wame perform for 20 minutes. How? So we would find we would get events and things like that. And I ended up forming a unit of growing now other gospel artists, and we call ourselves Silaha Family. So, and based again on Shika Upanga Wako. So Silaha Family now had the Spansita members. We had an English teacher from Agakan. Her name was Matilda. We had the most, I would call her jovial, Anastasia Mukabwa. We had a group called Tough Preachers. We had Kinkies, the Royal Priesthood himself. Alikuwa na ngoma, my friend, alikuwa anaitwa Mguso Wako. Ni Mguso.
Alikuwa kirap baada ya ngoma. Rap zake unimaliza.
And then you know, by that time watu wakiona mtu ana rap was always associated to secular gangster. Na hivyo alikuwa anakuja kwa stage amekula durag, kakofia kako hapa, amekula. But anaimba ni Mguso Wako, people like
Moses.
People are wondering how and all. So this became a platform to build, and we started going to schools. So tunaenda mashule, watu wanaona inspiration, watu wanapeana story zao, Bantu anapeana story yake, Kimkiz anapeana story yake, people see Anastasia Mukabwa, hiyo time ametoa ngoma inaitwa Kiatu Kivue. Wow. And actually this was the platform that helped her to meet Rose Muhando. Wow. So as I was saying now, easy resources can build my gospel network, my gospel interest, and I said, you know what, I'm going to push with this. So 2008, based on Iku Push and all, I got nominated for 2 Groove Awards. Yeah, so I was nominated. Groove was big, yes. Because I remember the year before that is when the Dioen did the drama and decided, you know what, I've won 5 awards. Hii award moja napatia Juliani. No one had ever heard of that. Umeshinda award unapatia mtu mwingine award. Yeah. So the following year we were nominated, and in Silaha Family we had 2 dance groups. We had dubs dancers and we had Nana dancers. So for the first time a dance group from Mombasa was nominated for Groove Awards. So we went to Nairobi as a big team because Bantu and Kimsa were nominated for male hip hop artist. Ndela was nominated for songwriter and also worship song. She had done a song called Kanani. And then I was nominated for male radio presenter and also gospel DJ. So Groove did again. When you do awards in Nairobi, and these are Mombasa new names, you're big in Mombasa, but you're not big in Nairobi, which was a learning lesson for us. So we didn't win these awards, but it's idea because I remember Kishushe won male radio presenter, and when they were giving the winners, I was number 2. Wow. So Kishushe alinishinda na 200 votes. Okay. So Kishushe was like, as much as I won this award, I want to thank everyone, and even called me on stage and told me, you gave me a run for my money, because everywhere I go, I ask, and they're like, but there's this guy called DJ Lenium, there's this guy. So Njugush is wondering, who is DJ Lenium? And that's how I started working with K Crew, because Njugush said that he loved the interest, the way I was and all. So yeah, Gospel DJ, Soxy won that category. And after Groove, I think I was not nominated for Groove again, but I went on, and I still kept on pushing and doing stuff and all. My downside in the gospel industry is, kuna term huwa inasemwa, a prophet is never accepted at all.
Yes.
I faced that because in my church, when you mention you're a gospel DJ, DJs were associated. Kwanza, they never heard of a DJ.
Okay.
So mtu akuuliza DJ, it's really sound technician, you know. So anashanga who's a DJ. So whenever I used to mention that you can do this, alafu nasikia mziki na scratch, no, hii ni kazi ya shetani. Hii ni kazi, no. So I was not supported in church, number one. So I remember by then, Crossroads Church had just come up. Okay. And Crossroads Church is a Papsie who came from Texas called Pastor T. Okay, his name is Thomas Barnett, but everyone used to call him Pastor T because it was just the in thing. So Pastor T noticed, he attended one concert and he loved the zeal I had, and came and told me, you know what, why don't you come and do this in my church? And I'm thinking, I was brought up in cathedral and all. So we went to do a concert at SOS grounds. We brought all these people, plus we added people. You remember what's your point of Cubanotics? Yeah. Cubanotics came down from Nakuru. Wow. Alemba was not a hype person like that, because msafanya hype alikuwa ni Lena. Lena ndo alikuwa msee wa hype. SK Blue came down. Yani, wow. It's those events you think about, like DJ Josh came down, Sita came down, wale wa Knees and Toes. So it was a huge concert, and then it's free and it's at SOS. So I'm thinking, my own church has not accepted me. Lakini church nje ilikubali. So I didn't move, but it kept on inanisumbua that I'm accepted outside.
That's my home.
Exactly. As this went on, in radio, I've now been introduced into the drive time show, because I've just done the request show, and I'm doing the drive time show, and now I was doing a lot of issues related to the secular world. As this goes on, because you're doing things related to that, your brand is growing bigger, and it reaches a point unaanza kualikwa events. Unalikwa, DJ Lenium yule anafanya drive time show, kuja Marekani or kuja place flani, and these are secular events. Yeah. So you're thinking, nikikataa brand inashuka. So you start attending these events. I start attending these events one by one, but still, my heart is still with Christianity. I still want to push the Christian world and all. Somehow in between, I came to realize there are bills that need to be paid. And when bills need to be paid, these people who you expect want to back. Yeah. What do you do? So I found myself now doing worldly events and I'm doing Christian events. And it reached a point, the world is supporting you more. And this is something, it's a discussion that I know in every church would be like, no, when you can't have one leg in the world and one leg in, yeah. So I always say at the end of the day, it's your faith, because there'll be 3 shocks that you will get when you die.
Mambo ni matatu.
Kifo,
jela, kama ingia.
When you die, there'll be 3 shocks. Number 1, the people you expected to find in heaven won't be in heaven. That's shock number 1. The people you expected to the opposite. The people you expected to be in heaven are not there. Number 2, people you expected
not to be in heaven
are there. And the 3rd shock is, will you get yourself to heaven?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So those are the 3 most important. And these 3 is all about your faith and your belief in Christ. Matendo and things, all that. It's a whole package. So that's what I tell people, that is the most important thing. What you do outside there really doesn't matter. But it's your relationship with God. So if your relationship with God is straight, achana na watu wataona workshops, specs, kwa macho yako, you do what you want. So and I tell people up to today, their pastors will still call me and tell me, they'll call me, my son, how are you? How is your family? Unaendeleaje? So niko na event yangu, hii inafanya, or niko na mtu kwa kanisa anataka kufanya wedding, and I believe you are good for it. And you will never hear complaints, amenipigia, ile wedding ulifanya sikupenda, ama the people didn't like it. I'll always get a phone call on Monday and Tuesday. My son, you did a good job. Thank you very much. God bless you. I always say, if really I was for the world, and these pastors know, why would they give me that phone? Why would you give me that responsibility? You see? So, me when they learn what I do, and then they learn what I do, and I will still have my heart in church. I mean, currently, I was the vice chairman of KAMA. KAMA is in the Anglican Church, the Kenya Association of Men. Yes, and to be given such a task, it was not actually nilipewa ile roadside shika wewe unafanya. People went out and voted because in church we have elections. Yeah. People know this guy is a DJ. This guy does this and this, but they still believe this guy has some leadership skills and some value and some Christian values that can benefit us. And I was chosen. Because before I was the vice chairman, I was the organizing secretary, and we made differences in the actually we were called the sleeping giants in church, and we rise from organizing secretary to the vice chair. I'm currently, as we speak, I'm the chairman of the media department in church. But and something I love, everyone knows what I do, but they still believe I can.
So now we're holding it here. You can't afford to miss. What a story! Like Jeff says. Enjoy, guys. See you on the other side. At Maskani Hapo on social media, that is Instagram, at Tonny Omuga on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at DJ Lenium Kenya.
Everywhere.
On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as TikTok. See you.
Yeah.
So, for today, guys, a very big thank you to Kishushe Studios, and also a very big thank you to Bags and Bags for always being our supporters. Asanteni sana. Enjoy.